Single-family homes in Kamloops are the tightest they've been in 4 years, but the townhouse inventory just hit a 4-year high for July. Same city, same month, two completely different markets. But if you're buying and selling in either one this summer, you need to know which side of that you're on. Hi, I'm Scott McDowell with the Royal LePage West Wind Realty and the Kamloops Home Team. Every month I break down these numbers so you know exactly what's happening in this market. Absolutely no guesswork. Okay, so let's start with the big picture. Single-family homes had 140 sales this past month, basically flat compared to where we were at the same time of last year. Benchmark price was actually up to $684,000. Townhouse sales were actually up 14% from the same time of last year, but with the most listings on record, the benchmark price actually came down 4%. And the condo market was actually one of our smallest segments that we did see sales down, but supplies well into the buyer demand territory, or the buyer's market territory. Same city, three different conversations, but single family homes and townhouses are doing the most volume in this market. So that's where we're going to spend most of our time today. Okay, so here's a number that explains everything in this video. It's called the month supply of inventory. So that's where you take everything at the end of the month, all the listings at the end of the month. You could divide it by how many listings actually sold in that given month. And that's going to tell us exactly how long it's going to take to burn through everything in the market if not one more listing came on the market. So traditionally, under 4 months is typically your seller's market, 4 to 6 months is a balanced market, and over 6 months, the buyers have a lot of leverage. The quick thing before I get into the numbers, if you want to know exactly where you sit in this situation fits into your specific needs, make sure you book a free call with my team and I today. The link's in the description below. And make sure you hit subscribe as I do this every single month. But the headline for most buyers and sellers in Kamloops is the single-family homes and townhouses holding relatively steady in a balanced territory. So let's break down each one of those. Okay, so the main segment that most people are watching is a single family home. So let's take a look at that first. The benchmark price hit a benchmark price of $684,000, which is actually the highest of the past 4 years when we're taking a look at the July stats. The sales were basically flat, down less than 1%. Days on market actually improved to 53 days on market, and inventory was down 5.4% compared to the same time last July. Now, month supply of inventory sitting at 4.6%, at 4.6 is actually balanced and probably the tightest it's been over the past 4 years. So this is actually a fairly steady, healthy market when we're taking a look at the numbers. However, in reality, when on day-to-day, when we're talking to other agents, when we're taking a look at our showings, we're really noticing right now that the showing activity and the market confidence just isn't where we've seen it over the past couple of years. So these stats may be a little bit skewed compared to what's actually happening in the day-to-day market. So make sure you have a chat with your realtor to see exactly what's happening specific to your house and specific to your neighborhood. Okay, so for single family homes, I really want to actually zoom out for the past 4 years so you can see exactly where the market's been over the past couple of years. Supply actually spiked to 6.9 months in 2024 and definitely walked itself right back down to 4.6. So meanwhile, the benchmark price has actually jumped up quite a bit during that time for a new high that we discussed there before. So detached homes have actually normalized, and it's definitely a segment that's doing the most business in the city as we see it today. Townhouses, on the other hand, is the biggest story of the month. Sales were actually up 14%. Compared to the previous July. Days to sell improved to 57 days, but there are 181 townhouses currently on the market. So that's actually the most that we've seen over the past 4 years. And with the benchmark price, due to the inventory increases, a little bit more competitive in the market, the benchmark price actually came down 4.1% to $510,000. So if you are looking to buy a townhouse, this is your real chance to get into a good place right now. And if you are selling one, you definitely have to be a little bit more, there's definitely going to be a whole lot more competition that you've seen over the past couple of years. So this is the chart that every townhouse seller needs to really pay attention to here. Inventory has basically doubled since 2023 when we're talking townhouses. And month supply has gone from under 3 from a couple years back to almost 6 months supply. The benchmark price peaked back in 2023 and has come down every single year since. So this segment is where your pricing strategy definitely matters the most right now. Okay, let's take a look at a side-by-side comparison over the past 4 years when we're talking sales volume. Single-family homes has actually been quite steady, around 140 sales every July. So that consistency is really the story of this market. When we're talking townhouses, we're back to its 2024 levels. Condos have definitely bounced around with small numbers, so definitely don't read into that too much when we're talking each individual month. So now let's take a look at the supply side. Detached inventory actually peaked at 915 listings back in 2024 for July. It's definitely come down for the past couple of years. So that's why we're seeing single family homes tightening up when we're talking in today's market. Townhouses have actually gone up every single year from 86 to 181 listings. So that's why the market is, we're tending to see that market soften quite a bit in today's market. So now let's take a quick look at the prices through 2026. Definitely keep this in mind that January is a slower market. market. Very few people like to move in the wintertime there. So definitely take this with a grain of salt, but it's interesting to see the progression of the prices as we continue through the year. So the price throughout 2026, we saw January detached is up nearly 4% since January. So definitely new high as we're looking into July. Quite a strong, steady growth as we've seen for single family homes. Now, townhouses are actually up almost 5% since January as well. Again, very typical when we're talking coming off of winter. With much more inventory in the market, that'll be an interesting number as we continue to watch 2026. Now, the condos are the actual outlier in this. They're still down since the spring. Well, we've seen quite a bit of a difference when we're talking the condos. Okay, let's take a quick look at the supply side within 2026 right now. Every segment tends to build the inventory as it comes out from the winter into the summertime. So that's quite normally seasonally in today's market. Now, why this matters is that detached is still below where it was last July, while the townhouses do keep setting new highs month to month. So at the end of the day, what does all this mean for you? If you're selling a single family home, you're in a strong position. If you price it right, it'll definitely move. But if you're selling a townhouse, you're definitely competing with a lot more listings than we were over the past 4 years. So pricing in your specific segment matters a whole lot more than the headlines. And if you're buying, you definitely have a lot more choices in the townhouse and condos than at any other July since 2024. So detached will continue to remain quite a bit tighter as it's balanced, but definitely we're not going to see as many bidding wars as we've seen over the past couple of years. That being said, over the past week or so, I have been in contact with a lot of agents who have experienced multiple offers in their listings or with their specific buyers. So a well-priced home that is really well priced and dialed for today's market is still receiving some multiple offers. So again, if you want to know exactly what's happening with your home or in your specific neighborhood, make sure you book a free call with me today. The link is in the description below, or call me directly. New market reports come out every single month, so make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks again. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye now.